Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sansan, Best Anime Reaction. In the previous episode, the scale of the conflict expanded dramatically, making it clear that the world is no longer dealing with a distant threat, but an immediate catastrophe. The consequences of past decisions are now impossible to escape. In this episode, I expect the story to slow down slightly, allowing us to fully grasp the emotional and moral weight of what is happening. Characters may struggle with fear, regret, or determination as they face the reality of their choices. I'm also curious to see how different sides justify their actions at this point. This episode feels like a deep breath before the final plunge. Let's jump into episode 23 and see how the endgame truly begins.
Found a survivor! Over here! Come give me a hand! Keep it steady!
We'll get you to safety. Everything's gonna be okay, ma'am.
The Titans of the Wall started marching away from the island in ranks. It definitely doesn't seem like they were targeting us. But even so...
Can't get it out of my head. That daydream that came when the walls fell.
My home. Eren Yeager took my home from me. Everything's gone.
A few houses are a small price to pay.
How dare you say that? This man just lost his son. Who knows how many people died when the walls came down? They didn't just die. Eren killed them.
That's a plain fact. You can blame Eren Yeager for everyone we lost when the walls fell. But we know what would have happened to those people if the Titans hadn't been awakened. The invaders would have exterminated them along with everyone else on this island.
That's right. Eldian blood was spilled today so that the Eldian Empire could live on. That's the price of victory.
Of everyone None of our people died in vain. Honor their sacrifice. Give your hearts. Give your hearts. Give your hearts.
Yeah, this is bad. With things as heated as they are, we could get mobs of civilians clashing in the streets.
Then we should probably equip ourselves accordingly.
Grab as much riot gear as you can pile onto these carts.
Understood.
What are those lunatics at Shiganshina up to? They came from the basement?
Alright. Welcome back everyone. Grab your ODM gear, tighten your emotional seatbelts, and maybe keep a box of tissues nearby, because today we're diving headfirst into Attack on Titan. The final season, episode 23, also known as episode 82 overall. An episode that looks calm on the surface but is secretly loading an emotional cannon behind your back. This episode doesn't explode right away. Instead, it smiles politely, pours you a cup of tea, and then quietly asks, "Hey, what if we talk about duty, regret, and whether adults can ever fix the world they broke?" And before you know it, boom, your heart is collateral damage. So let's walk through this episode together, like friends recounting trauma after surviving a Titan invasion. We open in the aftermath of absolute chaos. The world is still shaking from Eren Yeager's big global announcement, you know, the one where he casually told everyone that he's going to flatten the planet. Just another normal broadcast from your local genocidal god. The rumbling has begun, colossal titans are marching, and the sky itself feels heavier, like it knows things are about to get very, very ugly. But instead of immediately throwing this into large-scale destruction, the episode zooms in on something much quieter. People dealing with the consequences of their choices. Our focus shifts to Marley, specifically the port where the Alliance, our very awkward Avengers-style team-up, needs to steal a flying boat. This flying boat is important because it's literally the only thing that might allow them to reach Eren and attempt to stop the apocalypse. No pressure, right? At the center of this situation are two men who, a few seasons ago, would never have imagined standing on the same side. Theo Magath, Marleyan General Extraordinaire, and Keith Shadis, former instructor of the Survey Corps and professional grumpy uncle. These two are fascinating because they represent opposite sides of the war, yet they are mirror images in spirit. Both are military men, both trained young soldiers, and both are
You make a sound, I slit your throat. Take off the jacket slowly. You're so weak it felt like someone's granny had gotten me in a chokehold. Who'd have thought the day would come when I'd be the one tossing you around, eh, Annie? Hitch of all people. Seriously, what a joke. This could get bad real quick. I gotta get her in the basement. Somebody help! Too late. I already opened myself up. I'll transform if you give me a reason. If you want to live, you'll have to do what I say. Now get off me. I don't think I will. If you can't take me in a fight, there's no way you have the energy to go Titan. Maybe you're right about that. Only one way to find out, though, right?
Is everything okay, Drysa? Drysa! Can you hear me? I'm coming in!
Looks like you're smarter than I gave you credit for.
Shut up. If you want to skip town, I've got no reason to stand in your way. Matter of fact, it's nice to imagine not having to see your face or that basement ever again.
Then I'm happy for you, Hitch. And for what it's worth, the feeling is mutual. It was torture having to hear you whine about your crap-tasted men.
How could you know what I was saying? No way. Were you conscious that whole time?
4 long years. It was like some hazy dream that wouldn't end. When you and Armin were there in the basement, I could hear you talking, off in the distance. And when you weren't, there was nothing. Except me in the darkness. Thanks to you, I was pretty much able to keep up with everything that was going on in the outside world. And then, my hardening came undone and I was on the floor. Hearing Aaron's voice in my head. Is he seriously doing what he said? Crushing the whole world flat? The Titans of the Walls really are on the march.
Now look what's down at their feet. The only meaningful work I've done as a soldier is prying rubble off people and gathering corpses. Cleaning up after you and Aaron. Can I finally get an answer? Seeing all those lifeless bodies crushed in the name of some grand plan they never knew about. How does it feel?
haunted by the realization that the world they helped build is now burning. Before the big emotional payoff hits, the episode takes its time setting the stage. Magath watches the younger generation, Gabby, Falco, Annie, Reiner, Peak, Jean, Mikasa, Connie, Armin, working together despite years of hatred and propaganda. And you can almost hear his internal monologue screaming, "Wow, we really messed this up, didn't we?" This is where the episode gets quietly brilliant. It doesn't scream its themes at you. It just lets them sit there, uncomfortably. The kids are the ones risking everything to stop the end of the world, while the adults are left standing around with the bill for their past decisions. Magath, in particular, is hit hard by this. He admits, out loud, with no excuses, that Marley created this nightmare. The warrior system, the indoctrination of children, the endless cycle of hate. He doesn't try to justify it anymore. No, we had no choice. No, it was for the nation. Just a tired man acknowledging that adults used children as weapons and now the world is paying for it. And honestly, that self-awareness hits harder than any Titan punch. Meanwhile, Keith Shadis is having his own silent reckoning. For most of his life, Shadis believed he was special. Or rather, he desperately wanted to be. When he realized he wasn't, it broke him. He trained soldiers not to be heroes, but to survive. And now, seeing these young people rise above nationalism and revenge, he understands something important. Being special doesn't mean being remembered. It means doing what needs to be done, even if no one ever knows your name. The episode gives us a brief but meaningful conversation between Magath and Shadis, and it's one of those scenes that doesn't rely on flashy animation or dramatic music. It's just two old soldiers talking honestly, maybe for the first time in their lives. They joke. Yes, joke. In Attack on Titan, somehow, there's something oddly human about it. Like two veterans sharing a cigarette.
Yeah, you've asked that a lot, and I've thought about it. About how little we'd thought about it before. All we were ever praised for was how good we were at killing. Outside Marley's borders, we were taught not to distinguish between soldiers and civilians. They were all just the enemy. We were atoning for the sins of the Eldian people, and working towards the goal of saving the world. No matter who we had to kill, we were justified.
Armin already told me about the situation you were in. I get it. This is what you wanted to prevent. And a few 100,000 innocent lives is a small price to pay to save the world, right?
No. I never really gave a damn about saving the world. It didn't matter to me. The world wasn't worth saving. Not in my eyes. My parents abandoned me when I was born. I was the product of my mother's affair with an Eldian man. They left me inside the gates of the internment zone. A foreigner with Eldian blood found me there and took me in. He and I had similar stories, and we ended up in the same place. But that's not why he did it. He wanted to mold me into one of Marley's warriors, use me as his ticket to a better life. Even in my earliest memories, that man was already beating the martial arts of his homeland into me. That was my only value to him. He said that becoming a warrior was the reason I was given life. As I grew up, I got stronger, just like he'd hoped I would. And I paid him back for all the pain he'd caused me in the process. I gave him a limp that'll stay with him for the rest of his life. And yet, I'd never seen him look happier. Now I know you can kill, he said, even unarmed.
Okay, wait. I don't need to hear your entire life story.
I didn't need to hear about every failed relationship you've had in the past 4 years. It's not gonna kill you to let me talk for a few minutes. Anyway, the point is, nothing mattered to me. I didn't care about the people I fought with, or those we fought. I didn't see the value in any human life, including my own. Until that day. The morning we set out, he fell to his knees and started apologizing. He said he didn't expect me to forgive him. And then, through tears, he said, "Promise me you'll return." He didn't care about securing his place as an honorary Marleyan. He just wanted to know that I'd make it back. In that moment, I knew that we really were
In the ruins of a battlefield, laughing at how stupid they were when they were younger. The humor isn't loud, but it's warm, and it makes what comes next hurt so much more. Because of course, something comes next. The Alliance is preparing to leave. The flying boat needs time to be fueled. And the port? Well, it's full of Jaegerists, Uren loyalists who believe the rumbling is the only way to secure Eldia's future. From their perspective, stopping Uren is treason. From the Alliance's perspective, letting Uren continue is the end of everything. This is the moral gray zone Attack on Titan loves to live in. The Jaegerists aren't cartoon villains. They're scared. They're desperate. They believe Uren is their savior. And that makes them dangerous. Magath and Shadis quickly realize the truth. The younger generation won't escape Unli. Someone stays behind. And this is where the episode stops being just a recap and becomes a quiet tragedy. Magath makes the decision first. He tells Shadis that they need to delay the Jaegerists. Not defeat them, not win, just buy time, a few minutes, enough for the flying boat to escape. Shadis understands immediately. No long speech, no dramatic hesitation, just acceptance. This moment is powerful because it's not framed as heroic in the traditional sense. There's no swelling soundtrack screaming, "This is a big sacrifice." Instead, it feels inevitable. Like these two men know this is how their story should end. Before they go, Magath says something that might be one of the most important lines in the episode. He hopes that the kids will be able to live in a world without walls, without hatred, without being forced to become soldiers. It's an apology, a wish, and a confession all at once. Then they act. They sabotage the ship's explosives. They take out Jaegerist soldiers with efficiency and experience born from decades of warfare. But they're not unstoppable. They're not superhuman. They get injured. They bleed. And eventually, they're surrounded. Their final stand.
Family. That when he looked at me, he saw his daughter. So now, I have a father waiting for me to come home. And I realize that everyone has people who are just as important to them as he is to me. I can't just tell myself nothing matters anymore. It all matters. And after what I've done, I don't think I can ever be redeemed. But if it would get me back to my dad, I'd do it all again.
Thank you. I'm glad you shared that with me. But I'm sorry. I don't think you'll have anything to go back to now but a corpse in the rubble.
I know.
Sir, please. I couldn't make this happen. You had that daydream too, right?
This was inevitable. Those island devils were always going to be the death of us in the end.
Please be okay.
It was more than that.
Oh, Father.
Why won't you listen to us? As we speak, the rumbling has already begun. Eren Yeager is on his way with an army of Titans to kill everyone here. Your home and family and everything you care for is about to be stomped flat.
You really expect me to believe a word out of your hellspawn mouths? You all had the same dream. And what? You think we'll just let you through the gate? You're putting on a show, aren't you? How long have you swine been planning this?
If you call up any internment zone in the whole world right now, every Eldian will be saying the same thing. Do you honestly think we all could have coordinated that somehow?
And how do I know that you didn't? As a matter of fact, this is beginning to feel like an admission of conspiracy. Round them all up!
Get on your knees! Hands behind your heads!
He said hands behind your head!
Promise me you'll return. That's all I ask.
Okay. I promise, Dad.
Gunfire.
I've got bad news. The Jaegerists are taking over the fort. If they catch you, who knows what they'll do? You should run for it before they find out you're here, sir.
It's fine. There isn't any place for me to go at this point. The core of our military is gone, literally sliced at the nape. The Jaegerists are gaining popular support. They're securing the island as we speak. That means finishing off the old regime. They're gonna want me dead. And I'm too old for exile. I don't want to have to shit outdoors on some lonely mountain.
We'd have been eaten alive if not for you, sir. We won't leave you now.
That's right. No matter what happens next, we'll fight to keep you safe.
You damn fools. Why do you think I rolled over and let a bunch of wimpy tots like you pretend you had—
And is short, brutal, and painfully grounded. No flashy heroics. Just two men holding the line against the consequences of their own world. When the explosives detonate, it's not triumphant. It's quiet, heavy, final. And just like that, Magath and Shadis are gone. The episode doesn't linger on their deaths. It doesn't need to. The weight of it hangs in the air, carried by the reactions of the characters who escape because of them. As the flying boat takes off, the Alliance watches the port fade into the distance. They know what it cost. Especially Annie, Reiner, and the others who were once children molded by systems Magath helped create. This is where Attack on Titan really twists the knife. The people who caused the cycle of violence are the ones who finally choose to end it, even if it means erasing themselves from the future. The episode closes not with victory, but with resolve. The Alliance is moving forward. The rumbling is still happening. Eren is still out there, walking the line between savior and monster. But something has changed. The adults have finally stepped aside, not by retreating, but by sacrificing themselves so the next generation can try to do better. And that's what makes episode 23 of season 4 so special. There are no titans fighting titans. No massive plot twists. No shocking betrayals. Instead, it gives us something rarer: accountability. It asks a hard question. When you realize the world is broken because of you, what do you do? Magath and Shadis give one answer. Not the perfect one, not the clean one, but a deeply human one. They don't save the world. They just make sure the kids still have a chance to try. And honestly, in a story as brutal as Attack on Titan, that might be the bravest thing anyone ever does. So yeah, if this episode didn't make you stare at the screen in silence for a few seconds, congratulations, you might be a Titan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next recap. Assuming the rumbling doesn't get us first. And before we wrap everything up, there's one more detail.
The grit to kick my ass. Keep your heads down. Do exactly as the Jaegerists say. All that you punks can protect is yourselves, so focus on that. Go out and toe the Jaegerist line.
That's the only way.
It is. Live long enough, and you'll get your chance to rebel. In the meantime, do your best not to lose yourselves.
Armin, wait. Connie has too much of a lead now. You won't reach Ragako in time. And besides, there's nothing you could say if you did catch him. You really plan to ask him to give up on saving his mother. You think that's right?
Yeah, I do. And even if I am bound to fail, I still have to do everything I possibly can to save Falco. Because if I don't, then Gabi will never come to trust us. It's crucial that we win her over. Rhina and the Cart Titan are still out there somewhere, and I believe she's the best hope we have of creating some kind of truce with them. It's not as if the issue of Titan inheritance is going away anytime soon. If worse comes to worse, we could end up in another struggle for control of the Nine, repeating the wars of the last 2,000 years, but on this tiny little island of ours. Honestly, I'm so exhausted, all I want to do is sleep for the next couple days. But human history is passing through a bottleneck right now, so the actions we choose to take could have a huge impact on the future. He can't go through with this. So yeah, I'll tell Connie that his mom might need to stay a Titan forever. See you later.
Armin, any idea what I should do?
Seems likely that Jean could use your help. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
So what'll we do about Eren?
How the hell should I know? Who says there's anything we can do? Not only are Hanji and the captain probably dead right now, but if we get on Flock's bad side, we might get to join them. Let's see, what else? Oh right, Annie's probably back in action. And what's left of the military's chain of command has been shattered. It's in chaos! Also, Historia is probably in danger right now, along with the Azumabito clan. Niccolo and the volunteers from Marley? It's too much! There's no point in worrying about Eren! We can't stop him! He's a lost cause! Why can't you understand that?
Sorry.
If you were talking to Commander Erwin right now, there's no way he would have snapped at you like that. I guess we know for a fact now. Captain Levi saved the wrong person. He should have chosen Erwin.
My scarf. It's gone.
Connie's a decent sort. Even if it's for his mother's sake, he won't be able to sacrifice a kid's life just like that. I'm sure he'll have...
In this episode that deserves a closer look, because it quietly changes how we see one entire side of the conflict. The Jaegerists themselves. At first glance, the Jaegerists seem like the bad guys of the week. They're the ones blocking the port, pointing guns at former allies, shouting Eren's name like it's a holy spell. It's very easy to label them as extremists and move on. But episode 23 does something sneaky. It humanizes them just enough to make everything uncomfortable. Because here's the thing. The Jaegerists are not wrong about one crucial detail. The world really does want Eldia gone. These are people who grew up behind walls, who watched Titans eat their families, who learned, way too late, that the entire world already decided they deserved to die simply for existing. When Eren says, "I will destroy the world so you can live," that doesn't sound like madness to them. It sounds like protection, like someone finally choosing them. And that's terrifying because it makes sense. This episode subtly shows us that the Jaegerists aren't power-hungry villains. They're scared civilians with guns. Former recruits. Kids who were trained by people like Shadis, raised in a system that taught them one lesson over and over again. If you hesitate, you die. So when they stand in the way of the flying boat, they genuinely believe they are stopping traitors. From their point of view, the Alliance isn't trying to save the world. They're trying to take away Eldia's only chance at survival. This is where Attack on Titan shines at its darkest. Nobody in this scene is fighting for fun. Nobody is laughing. Everyone is desperate. And Keith Shadis knows this better than anyone. There's a quiet irony here that hurts if you think about it too long. The Jaegerists standing guard at the port are Shadis's students. He trained them. He taught them discipline, obedience, and how to follow orders even when they don't fully understand them. And now those same lessons have turned them into obstacles that must be removed. That's not just tragic. That's poetic in the most brutal way possible. When Shadis
hesitate. You should make it in time.
Thank you, Mr. Browse.
I think I'm gonna stick with them. I'll do my best to get them out of here.
My advice is to get as deep into the countryside as you can, then.
Mia. Take care, okay? My name isn't actually Mia, you know. It's Gabi. Gabi Brown. Huh? That sounds so weird. Bet you wish your name was Mia. Huh? See you, Kaya. Goodbye, Gabi.
Put the gun down, Flock! Don't kill him!
I wasn't planning to. I'm just helping him wake up. He didn't seem to comprehend the situation he was in. But I think I've gotten the message across. Now these volunteers know what'll happen if they're mouthy. Or make trouble.
Hey, last I checked, this island didn't have a king, so who the hell nominated you to act like one?
I'm so glad you asked, John.
All right, people, listen up! 10 months back, I talked to Eren, and he told me all about his plan to protect Eldia. He laid out every detail, right up to the moment we all witnessed when he used the Founder's power. He said to gather up comrades. I did, and with our help, he's been able to secure our island's future. You volunteers have lost your leader, and thanks to your wine, the old military isn't here to back you either. What's more, you're about to lose your homelands. The whole world will soon be flattened in great smoldering footprints. Whatever chance you thought you had of liberating your peoples and reviving your countries, you can give up on it now. You're beaten. But if any of you would like to set the past aside and serve Eldia for its own sake, now's the time to speak. Join us and we'll welcome you as full citizens of the new Eldian Empire!
Who the hell do you think you are? I'll die
Pay
before
your
you're out there like
respects!
that!
This man kept his pride to the end. He refused to submit no matter what. To him, dignity was worth dying for. But if you're asking my opinion, you should just give in. Is submitting really worse than ending up like this? Take some time to think it over. Lock him up.
Yes, sir!
Wait, what's going on here? Jean, what just happened?
To answer your question, I'm taking action on Eren's behalf. He has his hands full solving problems outside of the island right now, so I'm wiping out whatever resentment is left within it. 4 years ago, all of us went through hell. But now, after suffering through so much, we finally earned our reward. Can you still not see it yourself? We're finally free. You don't have any obligation to fight anymore. You can live as you please now, Sean. It's okay. You wanted to live the good life in the interior as an MP, right? Then go.
Decides to stay behind. It's not only about buying time for the Alliance. It's also about taking responsibility for the kind of soldiers he helped create. He doesn't blame the Jaegerists. He doesn't lecture them. He simply accepts that this mess is partly his fault. And Magath? He's facing the same truth from the opposite side of the ocean. The Jaegerists are Eldia's mirror image of Marley's warriors. Indoctrinated youth, simplified enemies, a single figure elevated to savior status. Magath sees in them the same mistake Marley made, and he realizes too late that history didn't just repeat itself. It evolved. That's why the Jaegerists in this episode feel less like antagonists and more like a warning. They show us how easy it is for fear to turn into fanaticism. How quickly survival instincts become moral absolutes. How someone like Eren can become not just a leader, but an idea so powerful that questioning it feels like betrayal. And here's the scariest part. If we were born inside those walls, there's a very real chance we'd be standing right there with them. Episode 23 doesn't ask us to agree with the Jaegerists. It asks us to understand them. And that understanding makes the sacrifice of Shadis and Magath even heavier, because they're not just stopping enemies. They're stopping a future where this cycle continues forever. Adults raising children to fear. Children growing into soldiers. Soldiers becoming symbols. Symbols turning into gods. By stopping the Jaegerists, even temporarily, Shadis and Magath aren't just buying time for the flying boat. They're interrupting that cycle for one brief moment, long enough for the next generation to choose something different. Whether they succeed or fail doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is that, for the first time in Attack on Titan, the story pauses and says, this didn't start with monsters. It started with people who were afraid. And that realization lingers long after the episode ends, quiet, uncomfortable, and impossible to ignore. Which, honestly, is exactly how Attack on Titan wants you to feel.
Do it. You're one of Eldia's heroes. I don't have to fight. No, you don't. You can simply go back to being the old Sean. Be as annoying, selfish, and arrogant as you please. Well, that's kind of rude.
Tell me, Flock. Do you know what happened to Captain Levi and Commander Hanji?
Unfortunately, they were killed by Zeke.
Connie, I appreciate your helping me, but, aren't we still going north? I mean, look, the sun's setting over there.
That's for the best. We need to get as far from the south as we can. It's dangerous. With any luck, the hospital I'm taking you to will be able to treat your amnesia. I found you all by yourself collapsed on the ground. It's true, all right? I'm a soldier, so it's only natural that I would do what I could. That's right. I've become a soldier.
Become a great soldier, okay, Connie? You'll be everyone's protector.
Dad, Sonny, and Martin are gone. They're never coming back. But Mom still has a chance. Just wait a little bit longer, Mom. I've become a soldier. And now...
Thanks so much, Connie. You've really gone out of your way for me. I'm grateful.
It's nothing.
I'm lucky I was found by such a good person. But I need to get back south somehow. I remember everything up to when I met Colton Gopi. But everything after that is a blur. Also, this Connie guy, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Still, if he doesn't know me, then maybe that's just my imagination.
Judging from their speed and heading, it seems likely that the airships are withdrawing to Marley. I guess once they saw the rumbling start, they panicked and decided to save themselves, leaving the rest of us for dead.
No, they did the right thing. Our forces in Marley need to be informed as quickly as possible. If the ships had waited for stragglers, they might have been crushed.
Fair, but even with warning, what'll our forces be able to do? Is there any real hope? Can these Titans be stopped?
No. But still, we'll struggle against the inevitable for as long as we can.
Excuse me. Whoa, wait! No need to eat me, okay? I'm not a threat. I didn't even bring any weapons. Oh, wondering who I've got over there? Yeah, he's not a threat either. Honest. He's just a poor bastard who refuses to die.
The walls of Paradis continue to walk. When the people of the world look up and see their colossal figures, will they be frozen with fear, or will they strike back? Next episode, Pride.
Thank you so much for watching this video on General Sansan Anime. I really appreciate you spending your time here and sharing this anime journey with me. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support truly means a lot and helps the channel grow stronger every day. I'll be back very soon with more exciting reactions, emotional moments, and unforgettable anime scenes for all of us to experience together. Until next time, take care, keep enjoying anime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.